And I have 3 words which I like sharing as a philosophy of life now, and which I would like you to remember wherever you go. The 3 words are things, value, and sharing. Anything is a thing. Living or dead, it is a thing. This microphone is a thing. This table is a thing. This camera is a thing. I am a thing. You are a thing. Anything you see around is a thing. But everything has its own unique value. In the case of living things, every living thing is unique. It has its own DNA. But that value of everything is useless, is worthless if it is not shared. It goes together with information, but more so with intelligence. If you have any useful intelligence information and you think it is useful and you not share it, that intelligence information is useless, is worthless. And we say intelligence information which reaches late is dead information, is dead intelligence, because it will not achieve the purpose for which it was meant. If you had to give information about the danger and you don't do it in the right time and you bring it when the danger has already happened, you would rather not have that information or intelligence information. So everything has its own value. The bigger question that Africans or all of us in this region should ask is, what are our common values? What are these values that we need to share? Have we identified the values? If I took it at the African level, do we have agreed common values that we need to share, that we need to use to show the vision of our future? If we are security personnel who are entrusted, selected, appointed with care. I have had the opportunity of having held different responsibilities, and among them was being Director General of External Security of Uganda, and Army Command of this army, of our army, and Minister of Defense. I have found one of the greatest things that makes any system in the security services not work is a lack of coordination. I am glad that you are here and you are titled Regional Coordination Committee. One of the greatest problems of Africa has been uncoordinated troop movement. We had an incident here in our history when there were the military of the Obote's regime fought against each other, and they said there was uncoordinated troop movement. African continent, African countries and African regions, and even as well as African kingdoms, were fighting among themselves because they had not coordinated their interests. They had not coordinated to know what are their common values. Uganda survived because of what Churchill said. Uganda survived being a colony. It was a protectorate. They just agreed with the kings that were there and called it a protectorate. And they found a very well coordinated administrative system which they copied and took elsewhere. So I would like to suggest that this forum which you have, a wonderful forum of you intelligent, I hope you are, very intelligent people. You know, to be appointed chiefs of intelligence, it is assumed automatically that you are very intelligent. Having a group of people from this region who are in charge of their services and who have a vision of their country and who are supposed to be patriotic, I want to tell you that however much you love your small country, our colonized country that we live in, that country cannot survive without the region. However much you love it, I am very patriotic about Uganda. You can hear how I really love Uganda. I really love Uganda to death. I'm willing to die for Uganda. But one of our experiences in Uganda, which we have experienced, once, since we went through our troubles, because some of your countries have, each country has had its own trouble. That's why I said every living thing has its own value. Every country has had a share of her own value, a share of her own troubles. No country in our region has not had some challenges. But what we should learn out of that, because it's not a mistake to make a mistake. Some of our leaders made mistakes, but it is a mistake to repeat a mistake. It is a mistake for our region to repeat the mistakes that were done by our previous leaders. When I was Director General of External Security Organization, we had a problem with one of our neighbors. Where was the problem coming from? Information peddlers. You deal with people who bring you information, a good number of them, with the purpose of getting financial benefits. So we had this group of information peddlers who would bring information to us and would take information to our neighbor's country. The same information, these are planning to kill you, and the other one, they said, these ones are planning to kill you. We moved our forces towards the borders. Now, when we were about to really have a confrontation, we discovered that we had the same information. We called, there are some connections we had with that country. When we called, said, what information do you really have that we should really fight over? They say, you are planning this and this. But I said, we are having the same from your side. So as I would call it luck, or God's mercy, said, can we check this information? Where is your source? Only to find that they were the same information peddlers who were throwing information this side, getting money, and coming this side and getting money. Now, when we shared it with our heads, they called for a meeting. And when we met, the heads first met, and afterwards they called us, the chiefs, and said, from today, we want you to share information before you bring it to us. And since that time, we have not had a problem with that neighbor. So that's just an experience that I would like to share with you. As I have said, any value which you have, but you do not share, is worthless, is useless. Therefore, I believe we are here as a region, just one, the greatest region in the world. You people, I'm telling you this. There is no greater region in the world which has as great value for the rest of the world. All the minerals come from this region for the whole world, if you want to know. Uranium, cobalt, these which are needed for the present, current cyber world in which we are all from our region. Vegetation, but fresh water more importantly. The former United Nations Secretary General, Kofi Annan, said that no, the next war will be over water and over fresh water, because the rest of the world don't have as much fresh water as we have. Our vegetation, the sunshine, who are we? There's one time a leader came to Uganda here, one of our big leaders, and said, who do you think you are to have all this fresh water? Who do you think you are in this region? If we do not come together, if we do not know the challenges, the huge security threat of our region, then we will not be helping the future of our country. As I speak, we've recently been attending huge conferences. Me, when I meet my colleagues, wherever we meet, I tell them, Frank, I said this, let's analyze. What is the benefit? What are you benefiting from this? What are these tensions for? You are losing this, you are losing this, we are losing this, we are losing this, and all of us could enjoy. So it's a choice. Put the balance. Where do you benefit? By being selfish? By thinking you are very important? But I think you can never be important without sharing with others. Research. What have revolutionaries done over the world? Those who are revolutionaries. What did they do? Starting from Jesus to Muhammad to Kim Il-sung to even Karl Marx, all those, to Mao, to whoever have changed their continents, to Mahatma Gandhi. They didn't, it was not about suspicion, it was not about friction, it was about sharing. It was about teaching. It was about sacrificing. Jesus did not even own a single thing. Even the court he used was borrowed. He just taught and shared and shared and shared and shared and shared until up to now still follow him. What we need is to have those willing people, now you security services people, those who are willing for the sake of the values we have identified of this region, who are willing to share for the good of it. So, the young generation is our responsibility. I would like you in our intelligence services, wherever you are, project, plan this African youth in your country, in our common region, and see how, where would we like them to go? Those 5 questions. Why are the African youths being looked at as they are being looked at? The image of the world, which has been deliberately designed to make we Africans, like the other man was saying, Maclay, believe in the foreigners and in ourselves, is to say Africa, a dark continent, Africa, a poor continent, Africa is only full of chaos, Africans can never unite, or Africans cannot even think properly. What? That must get out of you, the lucky people. How come that you are the ones selected to be the positions you are holding? It's not by chance. You made an effort. You studied. You are disciplined. You are selected for who you are. So the challenge we have as a security measure, as a prevention measure, is we need to get our children together to think. Because even the old people are no longer thinking. We have television. That's why it's called television. They only predict what has already happened, and they have always breaking news. Complete negativity of life. If you balance how much they show of our beautiful region, the beauty of our region, and how much they say the crisis of our region, do you know the balance on the television? Much of the television is on the crisis in the Great Lakes region. The crisis, the trouble, instead of showing our rivers and our lakes and our beautiful, our happy people. And hey, in Kampala this season, Christmas was amazing. I stood on a hill, and at exactly midnight on the first of the year, woo! The whole, everywhere. So, it depends on the choice we have to think ahead. Prevention is better than cure. Why President Al-Sisi started the World Youth Forum, this was the 3rd one, was because of the Tahrir Square experience. These young children were told, we go, on WhatsApp, we go. They tweeted to each other, and they marched to Tahrir Square. 1 million. The army surrounded them. And then Mubarak said, these people, let their blood not be on my hands. As a mature person, as an old person he said, okay. But there was a vacuum. There was no well-organized. You know, to have leadership, it means you have planned, you have prepared, you have an ideology, you have a cohesion, you have a sense of unity for having a leadership. The only people who were available were the Muslim Brotherhood. They took charge, but they were not prepared, they were not in full control, and afterwards the army said, get off. And they are trying to organize the country. And that's why President El-Sisi is emphasizing and focusing on the future of the world youth.